Hey guys, just walking back to the car. Just thought I'd show you where we were at. That's Kingston Beach. I'm not too sure what they really call it, but that's what we call it, Kingston Beach. And this is where Terry waits for me at the ferry. And then here comes the ferry in. And that's what I take every day to work. And you can see on the other side there's a little cove here on the other side of where the boat docks are, and it's just a really pretty little town. It's like Sonora or something, you know, older town with real pretty buildings, kind of different style of homes, but it's really nice and very mellow. You can see all the traffic. There's nobody ever on the roads pretty much except for going to the ferry, and that's where the ferry road is. I used to have to commute on that all the way from Ryan's house, which that was rough, but we got through it. You can see my van. It's in a little parking spot over here. They have a 2-hour parking free, and there's a little park here, and that's kind of what we do. Every Saturday morning we try and take the doggies out and head at the beach, that way I can let them run around, and they love it, so that's all good. But this is Kingston, so it's pretty nice. It's about 60 degrees. I think you're going to get a little bit of rain, but kind of like it. A lot cooler over here than Hawaii, that's for sure. But as you can see, the little town here, I'm going to probably take doggies for a little bit longer walk, and we're going to try and get out to the other side of town, which only takes about 2 minutes. So we'll see if I'll probably keep this thing on just so you guys can see what's happening. But you can see the traffic here. They're getting on the ferry, and this line will sometimes be 3 miles long, if not 5 miles long in the summertime, just to catch the ferry to get back over to Seattle. And Seattle's over there and on the other side of the water. But here it's weird because you got one side that's just real calm and the other side is just big city, you know. All it is just a boat right away and you're in really mellow areas. See, here's where our little kind of like a main street is, and there's okay, hold on doggies. Here's where they're at, and that's kind of our main street area that's pretty busy, especially right about now. Okay, let's go across the street. Let's get through the traffic. Come on. So there's the ferry everybody's going on. It costs about, I think it's 16 bucks and 18 or 19 bucks if you got a regular size car, and then it gets more than that if you're taking a boat and all that stuff. That other boat right there, the big boat right there, that's called the super ferry, and from that one there you take that one straight into Seattle. It's about 45 minutes, and the round trip is only about $20, which is pretty cheap considering having to drive all the way around. So and I think they go about 4 or 5 times a day, so it makes it pretty worthwhile. We have yet to do that, but hopefully once we get us all dialed in, it'll be something that we can do. This is our Kingston boat dock, of course, with all the salmon and stuff. They're getting ready for their there's what do you call it, like a farmer's market every Saturday, and usually we have to check that out either. So, but they're usually cooking something and selling little crafts and stuff, and Terry's planning on making goodies to be in the craft show here soon, so we'll see how that works out. But I'm just taking the doggies for one last spin and giving you guys a chance to see this area. This is the port of Kingston, as the sign says. Okay. Quite a few fishermen come out of here and do a lot of salmon fishing. But most of these cars, I think, are commuter cars that go over to Seattle, and you have to pay it's about $150 a month to park here, and pretty much anywhere around here. Maybe not that much, but something like that. And heck of a lot cheaper doing that and just buying a walk-on. Plus you're guaranteed to catch the ferry, and sometimes that could be a nightmare trying to get your car on it. You'll miss 2 or 3 of them before you finally get on. That kind of stinks because they come like once every hour, so you'll be sitting there sometimes 3 hours before you finally get over. Good morning. That's one thing I love about here. Everybody makes eye contact, says good morning, and it's just like one big family, man. And it's super cool. Matter of fact, one of my guys, his wife's not doing too good, so his neighbors, he hasn't been able to mow his yard or do a lot of different things because he's been having to hospice his wife. And his neighbors stepped up to the plate the other day and came over and mowed his yard and cleaned up everything for him, and he was in happy tears. And it was super cool that his neighbors did that out of just neighborly love, man. And that's what I love about our community here. It's just really cool. I've met pretty much all our neighbors in our community. They've come up and introduced themselves, and got a beautiful church that we're going to, so it's super cool. Then again, you get a couple of knuckleheads, but for the most part, everybody's pretty good. So I'm kind of just walking around the port of Kingston. We're in a little cove here, and we're gonna get to see in a little bit. Here comes a boat they're popping in. Over there's a bridge there's a river that goes through there like a slough, and the salmon go up that. This guy's popping in his boat. And then you can see some of the homes that line on the other side of a little road that takes you over towards Paulsbo. So the majority of the area looks like this. It's just beautiful, you know, decent sized homes and lots of trees and lots of wildlife. See that right there, that bird? That's an osprey. He catches fish. We might get to see him plop down in there and catch a herring or something. But on the other side, there's another beach to hang out with the doggies, so they dig it. So just thought I'd give you guys a little taste of Kingston. And right now it's probably about 8:30 in the morning. I'll probably get a ferry up here pretty soon. We'll go do a little drive. Might go to Port Townsend this morning. Shelly's gonna let us borrow her TV. We had a big lightning storm last week that took out our TV, so but it's been good. I kind of been liking it. But Terry says she's paying for cable, so we better get a TV. So that's how that works. So anyway, here's the back of Kingston. Up there on that hill where all those trees are, that's where our house is. And it's not very far from here. It's only like, maybe a 10-minute walk, if that. And then you're all the way down at the beach. So it's been good. We've been very blessed. So everything's going good. Just thought I'd share it with you guys.